These unhinged extremists, the Democrats, have been plotting to illegally overturn the election that we won. I didn't win it. We all won it together. They came from all over the place. I mean, they came from all over. I mean, your state isn't that Republican, and yet we're so far up. But I'll come to see you anyway. Even, yeah, you could say, you know, focus on a couple of the closer ones, but we're going to come here anyway because we do love it. But think of this. 19 minutes after I took the oath of office, the horrible, disgusting Washington Post, which is a terrible paper, it declared the campaign, this is 19 minutes, I just taken the office, and an article comes out. The campaign to impeach President Trump has begun. Oh, that's nice. Thank you very much. See the reporter over there? Great. And then during the term, sleepy Joe Biden, who's dumb as a rock, said, you fire the guy, you get $1 billion. You don't fire the guy, you get nothing. And it's on tape, and the press refuses to print it. You talk quid pro quo. You fire the guy, you get $1 billion. You don't fire, you get nothing. Think of that one. Okay? That's called quid pro quo. Not here. That was said by Joe Biden to get rid of the prosecutor in Ukraine who was looking at his son who just got thrown out of the Navy, who was paid millions and millions of dollars, even though he had absolutely no energy experience. In Louisiana, you wouldn't have hired him and your energy companies. They would have paid to keep him the hell out, okay? He had no experience. Right? How old is your son? How old is that young man there? How old are you? How old? Yeah. 8. Let me tell you, he's 8. He knows energy better than Joe Biden's son. Then Biden flies to China. He obviously met with different people than I deal with because we're doing well with China, but I'll tell you. But he flies with his father, who was then vice president. And in 10 minutes, he picks up $1.5 billion for his fund. These are different Chinese people that I've been working with, excuse me. I called up one of the top guys on Wall Street. I said, can you do that? Nope, I've been trying for years. I can't do it. He's like the smartest guy on Wall Street. Now the Democrats are covering up slow, sleepy Joe. And they're trying to steal your vote and silence your voice. And I don't even know, because I'm looking at Pocahontas. She's starting, can you imagine? No. Pocahontas is starting to emerge from the ashes. I thought she was gone. We hit her very hard 6 months ago. I give her credit. She's emerging from the ashes. Not a nice person. 1024th Indian blood. I have more than she does, and I have none. I have none, but I have more than she does. I'd love to have some. I just happen to have none, but I believe I have more than she does. Generations of American patriots sacrificed everything they had to secure this republic and your sacred right to vote. We will not let the Democrats take that incredible privilege away. The American people are fed up with Democrat lies, hoaxes, smears, slanders, and scams. The Democrats' shameful conduct has created an angry majority, and that's what we are. We're a majority, and we're angry, that will vote the do-nothing Democrats out of office in 2020, especially we're going to take back the House. And we're going to focus on, like those 36 Democrats in Trump areas that I won by a lot. I didn't run in 2018. You know, they keep forgetting. I didn't run. I said, go out and vote, go out and vote. But a lot of people said, I'm not going to vote until Trump runs. Okay, that's nice. I love those. I love the people. But they see what we're doing. But I didn't run in 2018. But people forget. We picked up 2 seats in the Senate. They never want to talk about that. We picked up 2 seats. They never talk about it. I try to get them to talk about it. And because of that, what we've done with judges and different appointments, but with your help, we are going to drain the swamp, and that's what we're doing. Right now, Louisiana can send the radical left a message that they can never ignore. And don't forget, in 2016, people came from the mountains and the valleys and the rivers and the oceans. They came from all over. The Democrats said, what the hell is happening? Where are these people coming from? These were people that were great Americans, worked hard, made a lot of money, much smarter. You know, they call them the elite. We're the elite. We're the elite. I know this. I know this. Speaking for myself, I went to better schools than they did. I have nicer houses than they do. I have nicer apartments. I have nicer everything. And they're elite. But we're not elite. You people work your asses off. You're making a lot of money. You're smarter than that. Antifa. You ever see Antifa? You know what that is? That's the size of their arm. They come in with the black helmet, oh, they're big tough guys. And then they start hitting a single reporter, conservative reporter. They start battering them with it. But when the tough guys show up, Antifa says, I think we'll take a pass. Let's get out of here. Now, you're smarter, you're tougher, you're richer, you got more going. But a lot of people, they came out because they didn't like what they were seeing. They didn't want to vote for the people that were running for president. They didn't want to vote for Obama. They didn't want to vote for the people that were running for president. But when I ran, something happened that was amazing. The lines were, I'll tell you what, in some cases, miles long. And they saw something, they said, what is going on? And you know what was going on? Probably the greatest election in the history of our country. It's your election. It's your election. I was your spokesman. I was a message, but I'm representing you. And now these people illegally, through corrupt people like Adam Schiff, that makes up what I said. He gets up in front of the United States Congress and the American people, and he reads my statement, but I didn't say it. He made it up, and then we called him on it because he never thought that I was going to release the conversation, because you just don't do that. But Ukraine was great. We called them up. Do you mind if we release the conversation? No, we don't. Why? I said, don't worry about it. Just, we're going to release it. Thank you very much. And we released it. And we caught them in the middle of a giant lie. They're a scam. They're scammers. So you're going to fire your liberal Democrat governor. I don't know how the hell he ever got there. How did he get there? This is Louisiana, right? This is Louis. How did you get a liberal Democrat to be your governor? Could you explain that, please? No, I actually know. It was a convergence of a lot of different things happened, and congratulations. And your car insurance is the highest in the world. Your taxes are horrible. You're rated number 50 in economic development. Can you believe it? With all that we're doing, you're rated 50 out of 50. But we want to send Governor, and I mean, I know this man for a long time. He's an incredible talent. He's an incredible businessman. He doesn't need the money. He's a wonderful person. He has the backing of Ralph. And I tell you what, Ralph is a winner. You know Ralph. Ralph Abraham. Right? He has the backing of Ralph. I've just spent a lot of time with Ralph Abraham. We came in together, and Ralph wouldn't have missed it, and he's an incredible man. He's an incredible man, and he respects Eddie, and Eddie respects him a lot. They had a hard-fought deal, but they respect each other and like each other a lot. And that's rare, because I'll tell you what, if I'm going against somebody, I don't know if I can ever like him. I don't know. But Ralph is a better man than me. He's a better man. And they're going to put that all over television tonight. Because they're going to say Ralph should run for president if that's the case. And that's okay. Now he's a great man. So Eddie Rispone is not a career politician. He's a business leader, highly, highly respected. A man of faith and a lifelong Louisiana patriot. And many of you know Eddie through his success. Eddie will cut your taxes and regulations. He will cut your car insurance in half. We have the highest car insurance in the entire nation by far. Some people call it auto insurance, call it whatever the heck you want. You have the highest in the country. He's going to cut it in half or more and turn this state into a giant magnet for great paying jobs. That's what he wants to do. Eddie is tough on crime, strong on borders, and he'll work with ICE and Border Patrol to get violent criminals off the streets. We'll bring them back to their country, ideally, or we'll put them in jail where they belong. Eddie is pro-energy, pro-family, pro-life, and pro-Second Amendment, totally. Eddie will defend your values from the all-out assault by the extreme left. That's what they are. They're the extreme left. I call them AOC plus 3. AOC, that's a real beauty. You only have 11 years to live, folks. 11 years, because climate change is just coming up on us so fast. You know, it's 12 years, but today I heard one of these crazies say, it's down to 11. And they arrested Jane Fonda. Nothing changes. I remember 30, 40 years ago, she always has the handcuffs on. Oh, man. She's waving to everybody with the handcuffs. I can't believe it. Remember that? She went to Vietnam to find out how nice they were. They weren't too nice to her, by the way. No, they arrested her today. Jane Fonda, nothing changes. They arrest every 25 years they arrest her. Eddie's opponent is a radical liberal, and you didn't know that. In fact, he even says good things about me, but he'll never vote for me. You know why he says good things about me? Because he thinks you like me. If he didn't, otherwise he'd say bad. But here's the thing. He'll say good things. In fact, I said he must be a Republican. He sometimes says better about me than most Republicans. But here's the problem. He'll never vote for us. He'll never support our Second Amendment the way we need the support. He's never going to reduce your car insurance. He's never going to cut your taxes. He's had a long time. He wasn't able to do it. I got you a big tax cut, the biggest ever. I mean, the Democrats, they have this crazy theory. I don't know how it works. I don't think I could be a successful Democrat. You know, one of their theories, we're going to raise your taxes. How does that work? I'm always saying we're going to get you a bigger. We're going to cut your taxes more. They're saying, look, what do I know? I've only been doing this for 3 years. But they say, we're going to raise your taxes. And I'm saying, excuse me, does that work? That's what they say. No, I'm going to cut your taxes even further. And you see what it's done for our country. But you have a radical liberal named John Bel Edwards. Edward was an ardent supporter of crooked Hillary Clinton, and she is crooked as hell. John Bel Edwards broke his solemn promise to the people of Louisiana when he rammed, that's the only word I can say, rammed through the largest tax hike in Louisiana history. Does everybody remember that? He gave you the largest tax hike, and then he probably says, I raised your taxes, vote for me. No, I'm saying this. I lowered your taxes. I gave you the greatest tax reduction in the history of our country, greater even than Ronald Reagan's reduction many years ago. Now, maybe that doesn't work in modern day politics, but you know what? I'm going to stick with it, okay? Whether it does or not, I'm sticking. And you see what's happened. Billions and billions and trillions of dollars is coming back into the country. We're the hottest economic force anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. And taking in more. With a lower rate, we're taking in much more money than we did with a higher rate. That's a pretty good statement. He violated your sacred trust and can never be trusted again. He raised your taxes, and he's done nothing about your car insurance. You know, one of the big things here is car insurance, right? And I kept saying, what are the things? Because I want to pinpoint it. And I kept seeing car insurance. That's very unusual. I've never heard that with the state. I never thought of car insurance, right? But here, your car insurance is the highest in the nation, and it's out of control. And it's so easy to do. Now Edwards is trying to demolish your state's economy by shutting down Louisiana Energy on behalf of the crazy, radical, far left. Edwards is totally owned by the liberal trial lawyers who are causing your state insurance rates and car insurance to skyrocket through the roof. Perhaps most disturbing, Edwards has allowed illegal aliens to steal millions of dollars in health care from hardworking Louisiana citizens. He cares more about illegal aliens than he cares about Louisiana citizens. I'll tell you what, I love our military. Eddie loves our military. They care more about illegal aliens than taking care of our vets and taking care of our military. Edwards is dangerously soft on crime, you know that. And Louisiana has the highest murder rate. I hate to say this. Please turn off those television cameras immediately. I don't want to say it, but you have the highest murder rate anywhere in the United States. I didn't know that. I didn't want to say it. Okay, I'm sure they turned it off because they really listened to it. Act by his fellow open border extremists and pro-abortion lobby. Edwards is a complete disaster for the state of Louisiana, and you cannot afford 4 more years of this far-left travesty. It is time to replace your failed governor, John Bel Edwards, with Eddie Rispone, who's going to do an incredible job. So everybody needs to get out and vote early. Vote early. 40%. I can't believe 40. I never heard 40%. Usually it's like 2%. Then they say, don't worry about it. But early voting has started. So get out and vote for Eddie Rispone and do it right away. And then let's go to the football game and let's do lots of things. Do lots of things. Do it before the game, or just make sure you get it out. And you know, the election itself is going to be taking place Saturday, so get out. Get out. Get out early. Get out early. Get out early. So I want to bring up a man that I've gotten to know well, but I knew him through reputation because he's really a business legend in many ways. And he's going to put that genius to work for you. Eddie Rispone, please come up. Please come up. Thank you very much. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. We appreciate it. I called Ralph. I said, Ralph, I'd love to have you. He said, sir, if you want me, if you need me, I'm here. And that's a real man. Thank you very much. That's a real man. And they're friends. They're real friends. So, where's Mason? You know, Ralph said, Mason, where's Mason? Ralph was saying, Mason, where are you, Mason? What a job he did. What'd you do, fly around the world as the youngest person ever or something? Very important to Ralph. I want to thank other of our incredible, and I call them warriors because that's what they are. They have to be today. They won't be around long. Garrett Graves, great congressman. Garrett. Thank you, Garrett. That made it a lot tougher than it's supposed to be. But these are incredible people. Clay Higgins. And Mike Johnson. All of you. And your state's Attorney General, somebody I've known for a long time. He's terrific. Jeff Landry. Terrific men on the ballot with Eddie. John mentioned that. Kyle Ardwin and your next state senator, Robert Mills. So joined by Louisiana's own Phil and Willie Robertson. I love them.
So much. You have been such a great community to share life with, to worship with, and I'm so tickled to be here with the president that he actually came down to our community. And let's go, Eddie.
Thank you, fellas. Two great guys. They were with me right at the beginning. I said, who are they? They said, they're two big television stars. I said, wow. And then I started watching a little bit. A lot of wisdom there. Republican policies are lifting up Americans from every background and every walk of life. America is an economic powerhouse again, like never before, actually, like never before. A record number of job-killing regulations, saving an estimated $3,000 per household. We also passed the largest package of tax cuts and reforms in American history, saving a typical family of four another $2,000. And we're boldly adopting a policy of American energy independence. We don't have to go to these faraway places anymore. Louisiana, employing thousands and thousands of Louisiana workers. They couldn't get their permits for years. I got them real fast, Pete. I said, how long? I said, let's go get them that permit. For years and years, they tried to get those permits. They couldn't get them. I got them very fast. And we cut a ribbon a couple of months ago. It was incredible. I've never seen a building like that one. There are more pipes in that building than I've ever seen before. Meanwhile, every top Democrat running for president has pledged to abolish all American production of oil and natural gas, shipping thousands of your state's energy jobs overseas. That's all they're doing. But Louisiana will not give them that chance. We are reversing decades of disastrous trade policies. Louisiana lost 1 in 4 manufacturing jobs after the twin disasters of NAFTA and China's entrance into the World Trade Organization. Past leaders did not care one bit what happened to those Louisiana communities because they were getting rich by sacrificing your wealth to other countries. You remember, we talk about it all the time. But under this administration, the great betrayal is over. America is no longer for sale. Thanks to my tariffs, we're taking in billions and billions of dollars from a country that never gave us 10 cents, China. Can you imagine if we ever let the radical Democrats take over negotiations with China? Wouldn't be too good. Let's get Hunter to do it, right? Let's get Hunter. Come on, Hunter. Come on, Hunter. Let's see how you do, Hunter. China would love it. More than anything else, they'd love to be dealing with a different president. They actually do like me, but they don't like me what I'm doing exactly to them. They're having the worst year they've had in 57 years. But it's not going to happen that way because we can't let our country go back to the days of being ransacked and plundered by other nations. We will not be taken advantage of any longer. Before my election, our leaders used the great American middle class as a piggy bank to fund their delusional global projects. They decimated American factory. You know this. American manufacturing was broken and decimated. They promoted economic growth in foreign countries. They didn't promote economic growth in our country. They used our military to defend immensely wealthy nations, subsidizing their welfare states with your money. And they poured precious American blood and treasure into the Middle East while our great cities fell into disrepair. $8 trillion was spent in the Middle East. Then you want to fix a highway, they say, well, that's pretty expensive, right? Not anymore. But I was elected to be the President of the United States, not the President of the world. Our nation. And we are finally putting America first. Haven't heard that for a long time. Past leaders transformed faraway nations into chaotic war zones. Then they demanded that American citizens accept unlimited migration from those terror-afflicted regions, stamping their visas for travel straight into your communities. Not anymore. My administration implemented the travel ban to block migration from some of the world's most dangerous and deadly places. And we're keeping terrorists, criminals, and violent extremists the hell out of our country. That's what we're doing. On no issue have Democrats more totally betrayed you than immigration. They threw you open, and you saw it all through the years. They threw open your borders to drug dealers, human traffickers, and to vicious MS-13 gang members. And now we're getting them out of the country by the thousands. Thanks to our tireless efforts to secure our southern border, illegal crossings have now dropped 70% since May. And when you look at what's happening over there, there's a good reason for what we're doing. We are building that wall faster than anyone thought it was possible to build, the Army Corps of Engineers. We're also confronting the deadly menace of sanctuary cities, which release dangerous criminal aliens into your neighborhoods, school zones, and city streets. Republicans believe our cities should be sanctuaries for law-abiding Americans, not criminal aliens. And Republicans will always stand with the heroes of ICE, Border Patrol, and law enforcement. In the last administration, vile slanders of our police went unanswered and unchallenged. Now we are once again condemning anti-police bias and giving our officers the respect that they so rightly deserve. If you want to show your love and support for American law enforcement and just plain success of your state and your country, then vote early for Eddie Rispone. Democrats are becoming more extreme by the day. The Democrats' planned government takeover of health care would demolish your Medicare. I will always protect Medicare for our nation's seniors. We will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions, and we will also protect patients with pre-existing physicians. Democrats want to take away our doctors. Republicans will strongly defend your right to keep your doctor. You remember that with President Obama. You keep your doctor, you keep your plan. 28 times it was a lie. Our ambitious campaign to reduce the price of prescription drugs has produced the largest decline in drug prices in over 50 years. Virtually every top Democrat also now supports late-term abortion, ripping babies straight from the mother's womb right up until the moment of birth. That is why I have asked Congress to prohibit extreme late-term abortion, because Republicans believe that every child is a sacred gift from God. Democrat taxes, high crime, open borders, late-term abortion, socialism, and blatant corruption. The Republican Party is the party of the American worker, the American family, and the American dream. It's also the party of the late, great Abraham Lincoln. People forget. We have confirmed already 158 incredible judges to interpret the Constitution as written, including 2 great Supreme Court justices, Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh. historic investment in rebuilding the military has included more than $30 million to Barksdale. Do you know where that is? Do you know where that is? Barksdale. Where's Barksdale? Nice? Good. Barksdale Air Force Base, right here in Louisiana, and $40 million to Naval Air Station, Joint Reserve Base in New Orleans. I withdrew from the horrible, one-sided Iran nuclear deal. Through Capitol and opened the American Embassy in Jerusalem. And we recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights after 52 years. For years you watched as your politicians apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America, and we are standing up for the people of Louisiana. The next step to victory begins in this state, and it begins with you right now. With your support, we will show the corrupt Democrats, and they are corrupt, do-nothing Democrats, that the American people are not backing down. We need you to get your friends, get your family, get your neighbors, and get out to vote early for Eddie. And if you don't vote early, I'll be back on Thursday to get you to vote on Saturday, okay? With your help, we will lift millions more of our citizens from welfare to work, dependence to independence, and poverty to prosperity. Together, we will elect a Republican Congress. We're going to be able to do that. We have to be able to do that. To create a fair, safe, sane, and lawful system of immigration and many other things. We will enact trade deals that result in more products proudly stamped with that beautiful phrase, made in the USA. We will achieve new breakthroughs in science and medicine, finding new cures for childhood cancer, and ending the AIDS epidemic in America. Did you know that? Within 10 years. I never knew we could do it until recently, and we put up the money. We'll have the AIDS epidemic ended. Who would have thought we could have done that? We will chart a new era of discovery in space, and someday, very soon, we will land an American astronaut on the surface of Mars. We will defend privacy, free speech, free assembly, religious liberty, and the right to keep and bear arms. Above all, we will never stop fighting for the sacred values that bind us together as one America. We support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. We stand with the incredible heroes of law enforcement. We believe in the dignity of work and the sanctity of life. We believe that faith and family, not government and bureaucracy, are the true American way. We believe that children should be taught to love our country, honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. And we live by the words of our national motto, and they will never, ever change as long as we're here. In God we trust. And it may be 120 degrees in this room, and I don't know about you, but I'm having a good time. It's a pretty hot one. A little hot. It's a little hot. Somebody's saving on air conditioning. That's all right. Always got to save a little money. You go home, you lose about 9 pounds. You say, what happened? Well, I went to Louisiana with some great friends, and I lost about 9 pounds and maybe more. We stand on the shoulders of American patriots who crossed oceans, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, revolutionized industry, pioneered science, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America the greatest nation in the history of the world. And we are making it greater every single day.